Reading Srimad Bhagavatam 427:11. Ijya chakra tu birgorai dikshita pasumakrakai devan vitran bhutapatin nana kamo yata bhavan. Ijya, he worshipped. Cha, also, to be by sacrifices. Gorai, ghastly. Dikshitaha, inspired. Pasu marakai, wherein poor animals are killed. Devan, the demigods, Pitran, the forefathers, Bhutapatin, the great leaders of human society. Great leaders of human society, Nana, various, Kama, having desires, Yata, like, Bhavan, you. Translation: the great sage Narada continued, my dear King Prachinabha, he said, like you, King Puranjan also became implicated in so many desires. Thus he worshipped demigods, forefathers and social leaders with various sacrifices, which were all very ghastly, because they were inspired by the desire to kill animals. Please repeat. The great sage Narada continued, my dear King Prachinabha, son, like you, King Puranjan also became implicated in so many desires. Thus, he worshipped demigods, forefathers, and social leaders with various sacrifices, which were all very ghastly, because they were inspired by the desire to kill animals. Put on by Divine Gradesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And this verse, the great sage Narada disclosed the character of Puranjan, who has been described to give lesson to King Prachinabha. Actually, the entire description was figuratively describing the activities of King Prachinabha. In this verse, Narada frankly says, like you, Yatha Bhavan, which indicates that King Puranjan is other than King Prachinabha himself. Being a great Vaishnava, Narada Muni wanted to stop animal killing in sacrifices. He knew that if he tried to stop the king from performing sacrifices, the king would not hear him. And therefore he is describing the life of King Puranjan. But in this verse, he first discloses the intention, although not fully by saying like you. Generally the karmis who are attached to increasing descendants have to perform so many sacrifices and worship so many demigods for future generations and satisfy so many leaders, politicians, philosophers and scientists to make things go on properly for future generations. The so-called scientists are very eager to see that future generations will live very comfortably, and as such they are trying to find different means of generating energy to drive locomotives, cars, airplanes and so on. Now they are exhausting the petroleum supply. These activities are described in the Bhagavad Gita. Vyavasyatmika buddhi ekaha kurunandana Bhavusaka he anantuscha budayo avyavasinaha. Those who are on the spiritual path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kuru, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. Actually, those who are in knowledge of everything are determined to execute Krishna consciousness. But those who are rascals, muda, sinners, duskritinaha, and the lovers of mankind, naradama, who are bereft of all intelligence, maya paharta jnanaha, and who take shelter of the demonic way of life, asura bhavana, ashritaha, are disinterested in Krishna consciousness. As such, they become implicated and take on so many activities. Most of these activities center around the killing of animals. Modern civilization is centered around animal killing. Karmis are advising that without meat, their vitamin level of vitality will be reduced. So to keep oneself fit to work hard, one must eat meat, and to digest meat, one must drink liquor, and to keep the balance of drinking wine and eating meat, one must have a sufficient sexual intercourse to keep fit to work very hard like an ass. There are two ways of killing animals. One way is in the name of religious sacrifice. All the religions of the world except the Buddhists have a program for killing animals in the place of worship. According to Vedic civilization, the animal eaters are recommended to sacrifice a goat in the temple of Kali under certain restrictive values and regulations and eat the flesh. Similarly, they are recommended to drink wine by worshipping the goddess Chandika. The purpose is restriction. People have given up all these restrictions. Now they are regularly opening wine distilleries and slaughterhouses and indulge in drinking alcohol and eating flesh. A Vaishnava Acharya like Narada Muni knows very well that person engaged in such animal killing in the name of religion is certainly becoming involved in the cycle of birth and death, forgetting the real aim of life to go home back to Godhead. Thus the great sage Narada, while instructing Srimad Bhagavatam to Vyasa Muni, condemned the karmakanda fruitive activities mentioned in the Vedas. Narada told Vyasa, Chugupchitam dharmakrate anushasitaha swabhava raktasya mahan vyaktikramam yad vakyato dharma itiyattaraha stito na manyati tasya nirvaranam janaha. The people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way in the name of religion. This is verily condemned and is quite unreasonable. Because they are guided under your instruction, they will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for prohibition. So Narada Muni chastised Vyasadeva for compiling so many Vedic supplementary literatures which are all intended for guiding people in general. Narada Muni condemned the scriptures because they do not mention direct devotional service. Under Narada's instruction, direct worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam is set forth by Vyasadeva. The conclusion is that neither the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, nor his devotee ever sanctioned animal killing in the name of religion. Indeed, Krishna incarnated himself as Lord Buddha to put an end to animal killing in the name of religion. Animal sacrifice under the name of religion is conducted by the influence of tamagun, the mode of ignorance, as indicated in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam cha akaryam eva cha yatatavat pragjanati buddhi swapartha rajasihi adharmam dharmamitiya manyate tamasa avartaha sarva arthan viparitam cha buddhi sapartha tamasi. That understanding which cannot distinguish between the religious way of life and the irreligious, between the action that should be done and action that should not be done, that imperfect understanding. Vasana Prita is in the mode of passion. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion, under the spell of illusion and darkness, drives away in the wrong direction. Vasana Partha is in the mode of ignorance. Those involved in the mode of ignorance manufacture religious system for killing animals. Actually, dharma is transcendental. As Lord Sri Krishna teaches, we must give up all other systems of religion and simply surrender unto Him. Sarvadharma parityaja. Thus, the Lord and His devotee representatives teach the transcendental dharma which does not allow animal killing at all. At the present moment, it is the greatest misfortune that in India many so-called missionary workers are spreading irreligion in the name of religion. They claim an ordinary man to be God and recommended meat eating for everyone, including so-called sannyasis. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnanam Gena Ishlakaya Chakshudan Melidam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Satpitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamam Didati Swaparandikam Madeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajim Shadvitam Shabhadutam Parajanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat Pate Gopishya Gopikara Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shavanu Tata Devi Pranamami Hare Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharinen Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarinen Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you again, once again, joining in our Saturday Bhagavatam class. So here you can see how those who worship demigods, forefathers and social leaders, the mode of passion and ignorance. So when a person is in this mode, then animal killing becomes one of the prerequisites. They like to kill animals. Their religion seems to be based on that. So you can see that King Prachinabhaisad, he was also inspired like that. You can see that in the beginning of this Bhagavatam, when Narada Muni was speaking to him, so he was telling him, he told him briefly here, the great Saint Narada said, "O ruler of the citizen, my dear king, please see in the sky those animals which you have sacrificed without compassion and without mercy in sacrificial arenas." All these animals are awaiting your death so that they can avenge the injuries you have inflicted upon them. After you die, they will angrily pierce your body with iron horns. See? So this is how the whole conversation started. Narada Muni was speaking to this king on this point. And then he allegorically narrated the story of Puranjan. So today he says Yatha Bhavam, just like you, King Puranjan sacrificed animals. So this animal sacrifice is not really recommended at all. Killing animals is never, the worst there. They reject the ghastly form of the demigods. One, two, 22. One, 2, 26. Mumukshavaho gora rupam hitva bhuta patinata narayana kalaha santa bhajanti hiya anu suyavaha. Those who are serious about liberation are certainly not envious, and they respect all. Yet they reject the horrible and ghastly form of the demigods and worship only the all-blissful form of Lord Vishnu and his plenary portions. So devotees, they don't worship this ghastly form of demigods, because this ghastly form of demigod worship is pertaining to the modes. It is explained here. And this place of the those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. A person who worships the demigods and gives up Lord Vasudeva is like a man who gives up the protection of his mother for the shelter of a witch. So this is from the Skanda Purana. Those who are devotees of other gods and worship them with faith actually worship only me, Osana Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Demigods are also living entities and parts and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, in one sense, one worships Krishna when one worships the demigods. but not in the proper way. There's a proper method to water a tree. One should water the root. If one waters the leaves and branches instead, he is simply wasting his time. If one worships the demigod to the exclusion of Lord Vishnu, his rewards will only be material, as confirmed by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Antavatu palam tesham tad bhakti alpa medasham deva devan yajo yanti mad bhakta yanti mamapi. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planet of the demigod, but my devotee ultimately reach my supreme planet. Demigod worship is meant for unintelligent man because the benefits derived from demigod worship are all material, temporary and retractable. It is also stated in the Padma Purana. Yastu Narayana Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivatehe Samutvena Vichikta Sa Pashandi Bhavet Dhruvam. Whoever thinks the Lord Vishnu and the demigods on the same level is to be immediately considered rogue as far as spiritual understanding is concerned. There are three modes of nature in the material world, but when one is situated spiritually, he is above the material mode, even though he lives in this material world, as Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, here. In material consciousness, however, even one who is situated in the mode of goodness is susceptible to the pollution of mode of passion and ignorance. When the mode of goodness is mixed with the mode of passion, one worships the sun god, Vivasavan. When the mode of goodness is mixed with the mode of ignorance, one worships Ganapati or Ganesh. When the mode of passion is mixed with the mode of ignorance, one worships Durga or Kali, the external potency. When one is simply in the mode of ignorance, one becomes a devotee of Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva is the predominating deity of the mode of ignorance within this material world. However, when one is completely free from the influence of all the modes of mental nature, one becomes a pure Vaishnava on the devotional platform. So you see, this is the gradation. So when you are in the modes, you are forced to worship the demigod, because the desires, so many desires are there, and you want to get the desire quickly fulfilled. So it is also explained here in this place. Kanchantah karmanam siddhim yajante hi adevatah chipram he manusye loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Man in this world desires success in fruitive activities and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. So this is the binding factor. They want to have quick results, so they go to the demigods. And very quickly they get their results. So demigod worship is not that, does not produce results, it does. So because it produces results, they become very much attached to worship that particular demigod. So when they do that, especially one in the mode of passion and ignorance, then undoubtedly they try to do harm for the animals. You can see how the animals are thinking, This is how the animals are thinking, guys. Animals are also not fools, Upon seeing the person engaged in performing the sacrifice, animals meant to be sacrificed are extremely afraid, thinking, this merciless performer of sacrifice, being ignorant of the purpose of sacrifice and being most satisfied by killing others, will surely kill us. The animals are not jumping onto the sacrificial arena with gleam and joy. As they show in cartoon, the drawing, the cows are running happily to your burger. Have you seen that advertisement? And the chicken is smiling away. Is it? Come on, this is nonsense. You see how the animals are thinking? How you can have a heart and even do things like this? Can? How much pain? The animals are not. That's why it's explained that anyone who is a devotee, he cannot, as Narada Muni said again in another place, You see what he says in another place. Was that 10:10 what? Here you see, one who's 10:10:9. See here, this verse. By seeing their faces, one whose body has been pricked by pins can understand the pain of others who have been pricked. Realizing that this pain is the same for everyone, he does not want others to suffer in this way. But one who has never been pricked by pin cannot understand this pain. You understand? So this is Vaishnava compassion. They cannot give trouble to the others. It's not. You say here. A saintly person should never let others frighten him or disturb him, and similarly should never frighten or disturb other people. He should tolerate the insult of others and should never become himself belittle anyone. He should never create hostility with anyone for the sake of material body, for he would thus be no better than an animal. So there is a duty of the saintly person not to give trouble to the others. You cannot hurt others. That's why one of the quality Krishna described in knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita is what? Ahimsa. Non-violence. If we commit this violence, then we are not, I think I have described these verses at length. If you do violence, then you cannot go to God. It's not possible. That's why they go to the demigods. All these people who commit all this kind of stuff, usually they are demigod worshippers, but they cannot go and worship the Lord. Vaishnavas will never do this kind of thing, sacrificing, Even it is worn, even you have some kind of a, if you look at these other living entities trapped in different bodies in a very, neglectful way, it's also an offense. You see? In this place, you see, in this place, you see how the Lord is explaining. See here. Atmanascha parasyapi ya karoti antarotaram tasya bina dristo means separate kind of a looking, mrityuhu vidadehe bhayam ulbanam. As the blazing fire of death, I cause great fear to whoever makes the least discrimination between himself and other living entities because of a differential outlook. Understand? It is explained. That's why the saintly person, they don't see different. What is that? Vidya Vinaya Sampane, 5, 18, correct? Bhagavad Gita. Very important. That's why we have to understand this thing. Every living entity, part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna is sitting in the heart of every living entity. So we try to harm other living entity, even in the name of religion, we are implicated. That's why just now I show you the verse. You see all these animals you sacrifice, they are waiting with iron horns to get you. But you say, I did in a religious function. You are not condoned, you are implicated. You understand? Prabhupada. There are bodily differentiation among all varieties of living entities, but a devotee should not distinguish between one living entity and another on such a basis. A devotee's outlook should be that both the soul and the super soul are equally present in all varieties of living entities. See that? So we should be very cautious. And also I think in 11:29 there is a verse, no? That one should not, one who does not see this point of view, is that 11:29? What is that? Same point. There's a verse also on this, 11:29. It goes to the extent of, how you should even pay obeisances. I mean, it's going to be tough, isn't it? You got to pay obeisance even to the animals. At that point, you see how it is says here. Disregarding the ridicule of one's companion, one should give up the bodily concept and its accompanying embarrassment. One should offer obeisance before all, even the dogs, outcasts, cows, asses, falling flat upon the ground like a rod. I mean, it's going to be, even you see, even you're going to be ridiculed, you still have to pay. I mean, at least, see? And it says here, until one has fully developed the ability to see me within all living beings, one must continue to worship me by this process with the activities of speech, mind and body. So we cannot try to think that we are superior race and everything you see we must kill and this, that, we should live and everything is for me, for my enjoyment, for my pleasure. So if we carry on in this kind of mentality, then we are grossly implicated. Either you sacrifice in the name of religion or you simply do whimsically. All are subject to punishment. The animal killing is never ever encouraged in this Shastra. Even it does also in our case, is with severe restriction. You have to go in the middle of the night. Anyway, Mangalarti also you are not coming. Middle of the night you want to go. What? For the tongue, middle of the night, nobody must be around, then you have to sacrifice. I mean, it looks a lot of hard work, So therefore, why have to do all these things? Why Narada Muni, if you see the whole Bhagavatam, he is speaking about against this animal killing all the way. Have you found one verse that he says that he supports animal killing? He speaks about it in the what? First canto we just read. They reject the worship of demigods, asking this animal killing. And in the third canto he is saying don't kill animals, correct? And in the which canto again? Seventh canto he is also saying don't kill animals. And then again he is speaking to who? Tenth canto, Jaya and what's his name? Manikuvara, Nalakuvara is saying don't do this. I mean they were intoxicated and drinking. What is the relevance of killing animals with them? He brought up the subject again, don't kill animals. Right? Tell me where it is supported. And then while speaking to Vyasadeva, he chastised him. So you encouraged all these things. This is not good. So you see, animal killing is no go. It is irreligion. Not only that, you get all these bad qualities and you do this kind of thing, you will try to be averse to worship of God. These animal killers, they become against God, They become anti-worshipping of Achyuta, they become very, due to the influence of mode of passion and the materialistic followers the Vedas become subject to violent desires and excessively lusty. The anger is like that of a snake, deceitful, overly proud and sinful in their behavior. They mock the devotees who are dear to Lord Achyuta. See? They become very much against God, the devotees. The materialistic followers of Vedic ritual, giving up the worship of the Lord, instead particularly worship their wives, and thus their homes become dedicated to sex life. Such materialistic householders encourage one another in such whimsical behavior, understanding ritualistic sacrifice as necessary item for bodily maintenance. They perform unauthorized ceremony in which there is no distribution of foodstuff or charity to the brahmanas and other respectful persons. Instead, they cruelly slaughter animals such as goats without any understanding of the dark consequences of their activities. Intelligence, a cruel-minded person is blinded by false light based on great wealth, opulence, prestigious family connection, education, renunciation, personal beauty, physical strength, and successful performance of Vedic ritual. When intoxicated with false pride, such cruel persons blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotees. So that, this is their job. Simply, this is all they do. So therefore, if you want to engage in some activities which is averse to real God consciousness, then this is the process. Go in this direction. Understand? If we are not going to put a stop to this animal killing, then it's going to be disastrous. I can see the consequence. The whole world is suffering right now because of what? Excessive killing of animals. Why this virus came? Of course you can blame this guy, that guy, any guy you can blame, but actually the whole person who engineered this whole thing is God Himself. Right? Why is He doing that? It's so gone out of hand. Yeah. Flying at so many thousands of feet, and what? Chicken sir, pork sir, beef sir? What you like? Vodka? Whiskey, brandy, what you want? And there is also at 30,000 feet. Not finished here, some more there. See? How much they are so much involved in sinful life. As though animal life doesn't matter. It's really cruel the way they are doing things. If you are born as a male chicken, forget it. Bad luck to you. They grind you down in the roller, you know. The moment they see you a male, finish. You don't know why you have to come out so early. You thank yourself, I came out, you know. The moment you are out, you are finished. They grind it down into a paste and thrown into the drain. As though they say now they have big campaign, Black Lives Matter. Well, what about animal lives? They don't matter. Huh? See how? See? If you are born as a calf, a male, again, slaughterhouse immediately. Females are lucky in a sense. Female chicken and female cow, okay, survive. That also for some time. And I don't know what male thing they eat. They don't let the male survive. Yeah, how ruthless it is. The more and more these things are going on, then it's going to become, society is going to become very hellish. So therefore, Narada Muni is talking to Prachinabai, you don't do these things. Don't do this animal killing. You know, try to become serious, Krishna conscious. Then yes, you free yourself from so many problems. Unless you become Krishna conscious, there's no solution to this endless problem. You don't want to become Krishna conscious, and there's a very, very dear price to pay. Then Kali Yuga is going in that direction. Everything is becoming very much disturbed. Everything has become completely messed. It's only How many years now? 5,000 years. 5,200 some years. We have got another how much? 432 minus 5,000, 427,000 years to go. Have you come back? It's going to be very painful. So anyone is intelligent, you should say, stop this thing. And you should also, encourage people to stop, doing this thing. You cannot say that it's all right, he do, his business. Then you are not compassionate. If you actually want to go back to Godhead, then you must learn how to do welfare activities to help others. If you don't want to do these welfare activities to help others, then you are also implicated. You cannot say, I don't care, never mind. You have to preach very strongly. Narada Muni is preaching how strongly? Yes? You have to say, no, cannot. You cannot do these things. You cannot allow these things. At least in your control you should stop. Yes? Cannot. No. Animal killing is against God consciousness. There is no two ways about it. Either you try to do it in the form of sacrifice, or you want to do it on your own self. Both bad. So I am sure you know so many verses on this. The whole Bhagavatam has got so many points. You have to learn how to see animals in a compassionate way. Just learn how to see them as also spirit souls. You cannot harm another living entity. So I think we spoke at length on this. Any comments or questions on this point?
This virus is, they are telling it's created by human beings. Right. So, how can we think that it is like act of God?
God has to give intelligence, no? Correct? To break the virus code, somebody had to give brains, no? So Krishna says, I give the intelligence. What is that verse? Mata smriti ganam aponam cha. I am seated in the heart of everybody and I am giving the intelligence, the knowledge, the forgetfulness, the remembrance. Just like now you invented plastic. Who gave you the intelligence to make plastic? And by doing that, you think it's a big discovery. But as a result, how much pollution? Now they don't know what to do with it. And they cannot also not do with it. See, stuck. So who is doing that? It's Krishna. Krishna is giving you brain to screw you up, That's all it is. Understand? You think you want to screw God, He is screwing you. So now, wow, we are budget traveling here, there, this going, everybody is so busy flying, even a laborer also is flying. And now what happened? Nobody want to fly. Planes are all parked. Airports are vacant. You know how big the airport is? All vacant. They say the whole airline industry has been put back 40 years. How many airlines have gone bust just by one little buck? Krishna didn't have to do anything. Everybody is bringing the big missile and big rocket and all. He did nothing. He just brought one buck. That also he cleverly made you bring the buck. He gave you the brain. You do. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, what is that? They don't know what to do and what not to do. They will simply do something, will destroy the whole world. There is a demonic consciousness. Krishna can finish everything up in a moment. Not that it's so difficult for him. The demons, they think they are too smart. But then, for the devotee, yes, he says, I'll protect you. The devotee, I'll protect you. That Krishna is duty bound to save the devotees. Of course, even if the devotee dies, what loss is it? Whether he stay or die, no loss for him. He is going back to the spiritual world. Karmis is the one you have to cry. Where are you going, you don't know. See, that's why there is a verse here. It is spoken by Devaki. No one in this material world has become free from the four principles of birth, death, old age and disease. Even by fleeing to various planets, you cannot, there is no escape. But now that you have appeared, my Lord, death is fleeing in fear of you. And the living entities, having obtained shelter at your lotus feet, by your mercy, are sleeping in full mental peace. There are differences. That devotee is different. See, having taken shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, they are sleeping in full mental peace. But the others are very worried. Why coronavirus, buy the synthesizer, buy the mask, buy this, buy that, buy so many things. Oxidizer, you name it, the whole house is completely kind of but they cannot live peacefully, they don't know. This is the underlying factor. If you take shelter of Krishna, then peace. They are not frightened, the devotees are not frightened to die also. Because for them, living or dying, they know. You follow? So this is the difference between the devotees and the non-devotees. So the virus is planted by ultimately God, and everything is actually a revival for the whole world. By doing this few months, they say the ozone layer which was depleted is now repaired. Animals are seen loitering on the road. Man cannot go, they don't have mass animals. And they are running around, correct? Birds have returned, bees have returned. Whole nature is, coming back. Environment is becoming healthy. So how much, just by keeping the human beings locked down, whole world is again breathing. Okay. This is the difference. Human beings are just messing up the environment, ecological disaster. Because all they do is, unrestricted exploitation. They see anything they catch and eat. Right? Anything they think they can make money, they will do it. Can I imagine these guys? In Brazil or where, South America, somewhere, they find this one buck, red color. So they grind it down and they put into lipsticks, all red color. And they are happily putting in the lipstick, wow, red. And what is inside there? One buck called camide or something. What is buck? I think I sent one video, have you seen that video I posted to all? how they using all kind of animal stuff. You seen that? There's no end to it. I tell you this exploitation. So we have to learn how to live with nature, and that means to see Krishna in the heart of every living entity. That is the underlying factor. And if you cannot understand this point, then there is no question of not exploiting. You take the other religions, thou shalt not kill. But they say, no, we only kill human beings. We don't kill human beings. But we can kill everybody else. So what? Can you imagine? Prabhupada right, except for the Buddhists, every guy is slaughtering animals in their temples. Except for the Buddhists. Even nowadays the Buddhists also, they say better to kill one big animal than kill so many small animals. So they kill the cow. Okay? The chief himself is eating meat. So, and in India, Ganga Prasadam. Fish from the Ganga river is called Ganga Prasad. Can you imagine? So, see how the whole world is. In fact, I was, when I was interviewed by somebody, I just said, animal killing is, hey, that's your opinion. You keep it to yourself. What? My opinion? Just to voice out saying that animal killing, that's your opinion. It is not, you cannot say generally everybody, what? Can you imagine? To even say to kill animal is bad, I have to look at this. How much the whole world is messed up. Just thank your star that you don't take birth an animal. And if you do that, it's going to be terrible news. Terrible news. How much just killing and slaughterhouse, at 1 minute, how many animals have been killed? Now they are worrying in this pandemic, they are worried there's shortage of pork. Poor pigs. Hare Krishna. I in a temple in Philippines. I was just across the street. There's one shop that is specialized in making these pigs, they roast the baby pigs, the Chinese delicacy and the Spanish also delicacy. Still little pigs, and he put in a long bamboo pole, one time 10 pigs, baby pigs, and he's roasting it. I was just talking to Virjakishore Prabhu, and he was telling, Prabhu, now pandemic, so much shortage, they start even at 3 o'clock in the morning. What? Roasting the animal at 3 o'clock in the morning, supposed to be chanting. And see what kind of consciousness. Poor, you see these little babies running around you. You imagine you take one of them and roast it up. Can you imagine if this little girl, you put her in the stick, poke through her head, through the leg and the anus, and then you roast her up? This is very nice. Can you imagine this? I thought this society has gone to the dogs. They have become ruthless. Ruthless. So I don't think we should support them in any way. We cannot. And we must speak up very, vehemently. No go. I think there are many societies like that now, right? Like stopping this animal killing. Cannot support it at any point. What to speak, in our scripture it is says that two kind of animal killers. One who is killing, another one who is associating with this person also is considered an animal killer. You know, you understand? That is also bad. You cannot say, I am careless, I do my thing and you do your thing. If you just been friend with them, you are implicated. Karma is terrible. All right, I think taken so much time now. Anything else to add?
India also selling exporting cows.
India? Spreading?
Exporting cows.
What? Oh, beef export. India, yeah, number one in the world. All the old Indian, what old? Any cows. They go and catch all the cows and they slaughter and they sell. Selling to Saudi Arabia. Indians, of course now I think the new government, Indian government is having very strict laws against this. Trying very hard. I think money, everybody wants money. What you can do? The whole thing, money, sense gratification. Cows. I think we saw also when we were in Bangladesh, as we were driving from Dhaka to Chittagong, so many cows were slaughtered on the road, openly, openly. Right? But one after the other, on the road, the guys killing. And the whole Sindhu river, someone came back from Pakistan and told me, the whole Sindhu river, very holy river, we say Ganga cha Yamuna chaiva Govadaris Naradam Sindhu, right? We chant. It's all red in color. The whole river is red in color. There are cow slaughters at the bank. So much cow slaughters. Water become red color. So you see how everything is so much. So please, if you can help. At least first start by not doing it, and then you have to preach very strongly against it. At least that way you can save humanity from going to the dogs. Otherwise it's going to be bad news. Like now we are all in the same house. If the house is burning, you don't feel the heat? Huh? Like now, pandemic, we don't feel nothing, we are happy here. We are also restricted, we are also getting the right. So we all have to do our part. We have to preach. Otherwise, all right then. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.